strong.
Welcome back to Crypto for Freedom, where we talk about gaining financial freedom through the cryptocurrency markets. Today we're going to talk about Dogecoin, and if you like the content, make sure to smash the likes and subscribe to the channel. All right, let's jump into the charts. Dogecoin is looking kind of weak here on the weekly chart. We have been making higher lows and higher highs, but Dogecoin right now seems to be forming a head and shoulders pattern, which is a bearish pattern. And to get the target for the head and shoulders pattern, you take from the head to the neckline and you extrapolate that out. Now, make sure to stick around to the end of the video to see my price target for Dogecoin. Let's jump over to Bitcoin. Bitcoin looks like it has been topping out here at 126K last month in October. That is in line with the 4-year cycle. Now, to me, it seems like we could be coming back down probably to honestly 70K. If we come over to our anchored volume profile, you can see that, you know, there is a pretty big gap right here. There is a pretty big gap right here. And if the price were to continue to drop, you know, we could be seeing Bitcoin price fill this whole gap down, fill this whole gap down here to fill this gap here, and maybe find support and bounce there. But in my opinion, we are going to be forming a downtrend from here. So if Bitcoin were to come back down here and then bounce up, this would be like the relief rally, like we saw over here in 2021. Where we found a drop and then we came up and had that relief rally. I think that's kind of what we're going to be seeing here next. So yeah, the Bitcoin price, if it did come down here to find support at 70K at the top of this volume level here, it could come back up and form a downtrend, and that would coincide with this point of control here. Yeah, I think it's pretty likely that Bitcoin actually goes into a 1-year bear market from here. I would be really careful just listening to all the big YouTubers who are saying there could be one more push. Who knows, you know, who's getting paid what to say what out here. And I'm just going to keep it real with you guys and tell you that the trend is your friend until the end. Until we see something else other than what the trend has been, I'm just going to assume that the trend is going to be the same. Also, Bitcoin has been forming this massive rising wedge on the weekly chart and broke out of that recently. And that is a bearish pattern as well. That, you know, we could take from the high to the low here and extrapolate out. And, you know, that would coincide with this 75% drop that I think Bitcoin is going to see over the next 1 year, 11 to 12 months. And this is like serious stuff, you guys. It's probably going to come back down here. And if that happens, you know, Dogecoin is probably going to go back down to 5 cents, you know, into this previous box, which, you know, is a little surprising to me because the same deal, like the trend is your friend until the end, and Dogecoin has, you know, consistently made higher highs in every single cycle, and I'd be kind of shocked if we didn't see another higher high here coming up at the end of this year. Now, I did sell off most of my altcoin positions, and I did sell off probably like, I want to say probably 75% of my Dogecoin over the last 2 years just to live off of it. But I still have some position here. I'm really Bitcoin heavy, and I've also been taking profits on that, trying to get ready for this 1-year downtrend. Even if we don't see a downtrend here for Bitcoin, then I still have some coins in the market, and now I have an emergency fund like I've been preaching. I have a massive emergency fund. I'm debt free. I still have investments. I have multiple streams of income, and I'm building multiple streams of income, and that's what I advise you to do, because you can't really make it on one income nowadays. You have to have multiple streams of income and an emergency fund and be debt free. That way you can hold on to these assets through these 1-year bear market times. And I think that, you know, October of 2026, should be a good time to start buying Bitcoin over here in this box. Let me zoom in a little bit here. You know, that that even a 75% drop would be in line with what we've seen in the past back in the 2021 cycle. 77% you can see here, and also in the previous cycle before that, Bitcoin dropped 84%. So if we see, just like we've been seeing diminishing losses, just like we've been seeing diminishing returns, we could also be seeing diminishing losses. So are we going to see a 75% retracement and see Bitcoin come down to 30K? Or maybe we'll see a 70% retracement and see Bitcoin come down to 37K. I think I heard Michael Saylor say that we might only see a 50% retracement for Bitcoin. So really the best thing to do is to be dollar cost averaging no matter what the price is and have a long-term horizon. And if we jump over to the 7-year cycle theory for Dogecoin, Bitcoin pair, I still do believe that Dogecoin is going to be making lower highs against Bitcoin for the next 1,064 days, just like Dogecoin made lower highs against Bitcoin for the first 7 years of its lifespan before it finally broke out against Bitcoin into a new channel and made a new high. I think that same cycle of 7 years is going to be repeating. And we could be seeing lower highs. Now, if we do end up seeing an altcoin season this year, we could see the Dogecoin trading pair come all the way up to 50382 if it does make it back up to this trend line, but I don't think it's going to break out against Bitcoin at least until probably mid 2028. And that means, like I said, you have to be in it for the long term, have that emergency fund, have multiple streams of income coming in, be working hard, having delayed gratification. That's how you win in this market. If you want to have instant gratification and go get everything you want right now, you're probably not going to have money to invest. I was able to get stuff today because I've been waiting 6 years for it. So that's called delayed gratification, and that's how you win in these markets. And you have to be in it for the long term, you guys. So let's go jump up back over to the Dogecoin chart and just take another look at this head and shoulders pattern over here that we were looking at. Here's the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. And we're actually at the neckline right now of that right shoulder. So like we literally could be seeing a breakdown any day here for Dogecoin. And if we extrapolate out the breakdown, that would bring Doge down to 4 cents. And if we measure from the high down to 4 cents, that's a 90% retracement. And we've seen Dogecoin do 90% retracements before, and that really does make sense. Back here in 2021, 2022, it had a 92% retracement. And back over in the 2017, 2018 bear market, Dogecoin saw a 92% retracement. If you count the COVID low, it was like 93, almost 94%. So this does really make sense for Dogecoin to come all the way back down to 4 cents. And if that happens on the Dogecoin Bitcoin chart, like I said, this will just keep going lower here. We'll probably stay in this channel. I don't think we'll break out of this channel, but this will just keep going lower, guys. So it really is best to be in Bitcoin. Like I said, I do still have some of my Dogecoin, but I am a majority in Bitcoin, but I am looking for opportunities. So if I see an opportunity where I can scoop up some cheap Dogecoin against Bitcoin, I mean, right now, we're pretty much at the top of this. This is the inverse chart. This is 1 over Doge Bitcoin. And so it shows you that 588,000 Doge is what you'll get for 1 Bitcoin right now. And if we did end up seeing this blow off top altcoin cycle at the end of the year here, which historically makes sense after people take their profits out of Bitcoin, it rotates into the altcoins. And if we do end up seeing that, then we could see maybe one more push up to the top of this trend line for Dogecoin, let's see, another 270% gain. And who knows, maybe we'll see an all-time high and Doge will come up to $1.50 or $2. But I think I think the most likely scenario is we're going to make a lower high against its USD pair, just like XRP did in the 2021 cycle, and that could bring Dogecoin all the way back down over here to the fish tank, and we'll be swimming with the fishes over here in the sea, you guys. Make sure to load up on cash, you guys, over the next year. That way you can buy the dip for Bitcoin over in 2026, in October of 2026. If we jump back over to the Doge Bitcoin pair in October of 2026, you know, we could be just seeing more of a low here for Doge, so against Bitcoin. So this has been kind of a scattered video, you guys, so thanks for rocking with me. Make sure to leave all your comments down below if you believe in the 7-year cycle theory, if you think Dogecoin is actually going to break out against Bitcoin this cycle, or if we're just going to keep making lower lows and lower highs against Bitcoin until 2028, which I think that's what's going to happen. It's going to shake most people out of the market. Most people are going to get really scared and sell and not be able to hold this time because they don't have that emergency fund. They don't have multiple streams of income, and they don't have, you know, patience and delayed gratification. So with that, just remember, none of this is financial advice, and always do your own research, and leave all your feedback, comments down below, and check out my playlist in the description, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.